everybody. Welcome to Baking with the Beast. This is Tim Hinton, the Beast of the Marching Arts. I call myself Beast. My friends call me Beast. And if you're wondering, it's this Beast right here that I associate myself with. And he's sort of like part of my personality. So today I'm actually going to be baking something from scratch. I know those of you that were here last week, thank you so much. If anybody's watching right now, you're really nice. But I'm going to be baking a Nestles Quik Cake, an old recipe from days gone by, and I hope it goes well. While it's in the oven, I'm going to be talking to BJ Diden. So let me bring him on and say a quick hello to him. Okay, that didn't work. So you know what I'm going to have to do? I'm going to have to put my glasses on because, you know, I should have done that to start with. There he is. Hey, BJ, how are you, man?
Hey, how's it going?
Thank you for being here on the Beast. I know this is the highlight of 2020 for you so far.
There you go. There you go. Hey, it's good to talk to anybody different right now. So,
well, and the way 2020's gone, it's not hard for this to be.
That's right. That's right.
No, but we're going to be talking to you about marching arts, about baking, how you've done some baking with students, which I think is very cool. So thank you for agreeing to talk with me.
Absolutely, glad to be here.
Okay, so everybody, BJ's gonna be back when the cake gets in the oven. Fingers crossed. I'll be back. Thank you, BJ, man.
Yep, we'll see you in a few.
Okay, everybody. So here's what happened. I asked everybody for recipes and suggestions, and somebody said the best chocolate cake I know is the one on the back of the Hershey's thing. That's not what I'm making. That's gonna be another day though, because I looked at it and it looks delicious. But it's a little bit complicated. And last week I was doing a mix. So this is like a huge step up, everybody. Huge step up. Okay, so what I did though was as I was searching around online, looking that up, I found this recipe for Nestles Quik Cake, which I think is coming from like a very, very, very old time. Apparently Nestles Quik has been a long time. So I'm making this because you know what? The recipe was kind of simple compared to some of the others. And I thought, let me start there. The idea, as I mentioned before, last time when we tried this, is just to have fun baking. It's a stressful time. We're all separated. I find baking really peaceful. The warmth of the oven and the smells in the house and the whole thing just makes me happy. So whether you just grab a bake, like a baked good pre-made mix like I did last week, or whether you do what I'm going to do right now and attempt to actually bake something. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do, this could really go badly, everybody. By the way, if you're watching live, you're awesome. Thanks for being here. I don't expect you to necessarily stay here through the whole thing. You can come back, after the 30 minutes. But you don't want to miss BJ's interview. It's going to be really interesting. But anyway, as I'm baking and I'm saying, like, I don't know how to do this, type it in the comments. The more comments you type, the better. I'm not probably going to see them right now because I'm kind of blind. And I have my glasses here. But what I did last time was I went back and I looked at all the comments, and a lot of them were really helpful. So anyway, one of the things, Trisha, who was here last time, hey Trisha, I hope you're watching, she told me to use margarine when preparing my cake tin instead of my spray. So I'm going to try that. Now this is probably going to get really messy. And if I get margarine all over my favorite Beast tank top, I don't know, that could be a thing. And I don't even know, I think she said to use, did she say to use a napkin? Okay, well, y'all tell me. I'm just going to use my finger. This can't be right. This can't be right. Okay, so I'm going to try using a paper towel because I think that's what she said. Okay. Oh, see, that's going so much better. See, that now it's spreading around. Okay. I can be taught. Okay, so I am just putting margarine around the pan, and then the next thing I'm supposed to do, we haven't even gotten to the excited baking part, and already it's a mess. And then the next thing I'm supposed to do is put a little flour on it. Okay, so are you having the time of your lives, everybody? Thank you for watching. Like I said, comment. Let me know what you're thinking. Give me suggestions. I may actually need some of your help as we're going. But anyway, the next thing I'm going to do is put a little flour. And I don't know if there's a right way to do this or not, but I'm just going to grab it with my hand and sprinkle it around. don't know if that's right or not, but that's what I'm doing. Okay. Like I said, BJ's going to be back to talk about baking with students, which I think is very cool. He's been doing some of that online, and we're all talking about ways to engage with our students online right now. Keep having those conversations over and over and over. So why not do a baking segment? In fact, I'm hoping we have a baking segment on our DCI Summer Burner. We talked about cooking for Drum Corps with the Blue Stars. That was really fun. Okay, so I've got my pan prepared, and now I'm going to start doing the mixing and stuff. And the most exciting thing I have to show you guys is, look, how I have to decide which bowl to use, because I now have 5 spectacular new bowls in a variety of sizes. They even have grippy bottoms. Where did these come from? These came from my wonderful cousin, Kelly. Thank you, Kelly. You're so nice. She wanted to encourage my baking, which I think is so lovely. So she sent me a gift of these mixing bowls because I showed you the one sad little mixing bowl I got from my mother last time. So anyway, it was so nice. So thank you. It just shows to show you if somebody's doing something and you can find a way to encourage them to do it. I'm not asking you to send me baking stuff, but I'm just saying that was really nice. By the way, then my cousin Nancy and my Aunt Lizelle and Katie said, look at this. Beauty and the Beast mitts. I mean, isn't that the coolest thing? Can you see? It has there it is. Beauty and the Beast stuff on it. I love that. So when I'm taking my cake out of the oven, and I also spent me this cool Mickey spatula because I didn't have a spatula last week and everybody was coming in like, use a spatula. So I'm learning people. And now I have a cool Mickey one to use. So watch for that in this segment. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to start putting stuff together. Some of you, a lot of you are just encouraging me by watching right now. And that's so nice. It's like if you decided to tune in tonight and give me that encouragement. Okay, Kelly, I have to decide which bowl to use. I'm going to go with this one. That one just seems really big. So I'm going to try this bowl. All right. I made a decision. I'm going to need another bowl in a little bit later. All right, and it starts by mixed together. Here's the Nestles Quik Cake. By the way, this recipe was given to Betty Warren by Ramona Caudle. So Ramona, you're awesome. I hope it's good. I hope I don't kill it. I have a feeling that they were housewives in the First World War or something. That's probably when this recipe was around. So anyway, first thing you do is add flour and sugar. So I got my sugar ready, 2 cups. I'm a little light on that tonight, but that's going to have to do. Now I'm going to do my flour. I don't know how this is going to go. I don't know if there's a correct way to do this. And I don't have one of those sifter things. I don't know. Is that important? Y'all need to let me know. I have no idea if doing the sifting of the flour really matters. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to fill this. Is this the way to do this? All right. Can y'all see what I'm doing? I'm just getting. I do have this cool little flour container, and so I'm just filling it up to. Okay. I know this is like riveting internet footage. I'm getting my. Oh, I'm making a mess. What do you think? That's about on the 2. Okay, I'm going to say that's a go. I'm going to put that in next. Okay, flour's in. Next, we put in the Nestles Quik, and it says to do 6 tablespoons. Now, this is where I have to start using my math skills because I don't have a thing. Well, actually, I have this. I found this in the drawer. I didn't even know it was there. It's like 1 tablespoon. By the way, I ordered some new measuring things that are coming. So I got that coming because all right, so I'm just going to do 6 tablespoons of the Nestles Quik, everybody. Okay, so there's 1. Oh, this smells kind of good. Chocolatey. Okay. Oh, was that 2? Oh God, I need to not make jokes. Okay, I think that was 2, 3, 4. Can you see what's going on? Are you excited? 5. I don't think if it's a little more extra chocolate, I doubt that's going to ruin it. Although Ramona Caudle might say different. But anyway, I'm excited. I'm actually putting ingredients together in a bowl. Okay, flour, sugar, Nestles Quik, and salt. And salt is a half tablespoon. Okay, I have a 4th, so I'm going to do 2 of a 4th. Like I said, I have new measuring things coming. Very excited about that. Okay, so I'm going to try to measure. There's a 4th and another 4th. That's a half. Mixed together. I didn't think about how I'm supposed to do that. I really did plan for this. Okay, I have this whisk. Or should I use a spoon? Are y'all typing in comments? Huh? I need help. All right, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna use, this seems to be working. Okay, so I've got everything in the bowl and I'm sort of gonna mix it with, oh, this seems to be working. Okay. I don't know if I'm supposed to get out my mixer later when it gets wet. I don't know. This will be interesting to figure this out. Spoon. Should I stop using this? Spoon. Okay. No more whisking. Going to a spoon. I should have had a spoon ready. Okay, I might need to buy it. Okay. Going with a spoon. Thanks for the advice, everybody. Is that better? I'm mixing with a spoon. That is doing better. Great advice, everybody. Okay, that seems to be mixed. Next, it says add eggs, milk, and vanilla. Okay, boy, am I making a mess. Eggs, milk, and vanilla. Okay, so eggs, 2 eggs beaten. So I need to get another one of Kelly's bowls out because I'm gonna beat 2 eggs. Now that I need the whisk, right? I can be taught. So I'm gonna get a couple eggs out. I'm gonna beat those puppies. All right, here we go. These bowls are so cool. There's 1. There's 2. All right. Hand mixer after wet ingredients. Thanks, Robin. You're the best. Thanks for watching. Thank goodness you were here to save the day. Okay, so I'm gonna beat eggs. I'm assuming I'm gonna do that with this whisk. I'm beating eggs, everybody. I'm beating them. I don't know. How do I know when they're beaten? I'm just beating them to death. Okay. I think they're okay. Okay. So there are add eggs. Okay. There that is. Adding eggs. Okay. So far, nothing has blown up. Are y'all having a good time? You know, baking just makes everybody feel better. Then it says add milk. But first, I have to add soda to the milk, and it's buttermilk, which is really interesting because I never ever eat or use buttermilk, but I got some just for this because it's a special occasion. You're baking with the beast, that's why. So I'm gonna put, you know, I didn't think opening the milk was gonna be, I don't know. All right, as the cooking show comes to a halt because I can't get the milk. Okay, 2 cups buttermilk. Doesn't that look delicious? Okay, and then it says to add the soda to the milk. I don't understand why, but you know, it's not for me to know. 2 teaspoons of baking soda. So I've got baking soda. I've got a teaspoon thing right here. Okay, I'm not sure exactly how to get this out of here. I am really, really a novice at this, everybody. So I'm gonna, okay, this is working. It's making a mess, but it's working. Oh, big mess, big mess. Okay. What, does anybody know why I add this to the milk? I am making a Nestles Quik Cake because it was easy and it uses Nestles Quik. So I've already put the Nestles Quik in. If you missed that, you can rewind, see the exciting entrance of the Nestles. I'm making a Nestles Quik Cake. I think it's a recipe like from a long, long time ago. Okay, I added that to the milk. Now what do I do? I guess I like stir it up. Okay, I'll use my new Mickey tiny little spatula that I got from the Maloney's and the Reagans. Okay, here we go. I don't know why I'm doing that, but I just added the baking soda. All right, I'm gonna pour it in. Things are getting exciting now. You know, I didn't even prepare my mixer, so I'm gonna have to get that out real quick. Okay, all the buttermilk with the soda added. I don't know what that does, but I'm sure it just activates the deliciousness of everything. This is making such a mess. Okay, and then vanilla, and it says 1 teaspoon of vanilla. So I have my vanilla here. I am ready with that. I'm almost done putting the ingredients in, everybody, and then I'm going to mix it up. Oh, it's brand new. So let me see if I should have prepared this. Are you having fun? Okay. Pudding. Yeah, okay. Oh, okay. That went everywhere into okay, well, there's probably going to be too much vanilla, but, it'll just be vanilla. And I like vanilla, so, that's probably not going to hurt anything. Okay, now I've done all this. Okay, so now I'm going to mix it. So I'm going to get, this is not going exactly as well as I planned, but hey, it's okay. So I'm going to get out my mixer from last week, if you remember, the mixer that I got from my mom, which I love. So, and it works. And then, man, I totally should have had this ready. I just didn't even think about this part. That's okay. You can see the excitement of putting it all together. So I got my two. I'm going to be talking to BJ Diden in just a little bit about his baking. He's also a band of music ed's music marketing guy. We'll be talking to him, and he's been doing some cooking with the students. It's really interesting. So we're going to be talking about that. Okay, so I'm going to mix. I don't know if you guys can't see. Oh, wow. Okay. Let's see if I think I may need both hands for this. I'm going to put that back. Okay. All right. I'm going to keep going. I don't know how long to mix it. How do I know when it's ready, everybody? I guess when it looks mixed. Hey Siri, set timer for 1.5 minutes.
Your timer is set for 1 minute.
That sounds about right, because I've already been going a while. I'm almost done. So BJ, get ready. I'm going to be talking to BJ Diden about cooking, working with students, baking, how baking makes you feel better. It does. Everybody should be doing some baking. You know what I was thinking about the other day is when the quarantine first hit and everybody started panic buying. Everybody, of course, we all know that toilet paper was one of the things totally out. Do you know the other thing that was immediately gone? All the baked goods. Yes, every mix in the grocery store was gone. I feel like there's something about us that knows when we need comfort and we're going to be stuck at home and we're going to be doing some baking. I think that's awesome. So if all of this has got everybody baking, then that's really good. Okay, I'm going to see if I got any of those. It looks mixed to me. Oh, God. Okay. If you have any advice for me, keep typing that in. I'll be looking at it later. I need all the advice I can get. It seems like it's been going on a really long time. I'm looking to see if I forgot anything, which is totally possible. All right. Add batter and bake at 350. I think I'm good. I'm going to wait for the timer to run out. Okay. So I'm making a Nestles Quik Cake, everybody. Thanks for watching. And it's a recipe I found online, and it was kind of easy. Hey, Siri, stop timer. All right.
Okay, it stopped.
Now, the cool thing about these... Do I need to adjust this? Can y'all see me? Boop. The cool thing about these new bowls that I got from Kelly is that they have a little, pour thing on them. I'm just making a mess. I'm just going to make a mess. See, it has this cool lip on it in here where you can, pour stuff out. How cool is that? I love my new bowls. Thanks, Kelly. So, here's the pan. Here's the moment of truth. I'm going to pour it in. Is that all it says? Add batter to pan and bake. Here we go, everybody. Let's see how it looks. Oh, looks nice. Looks nice. Let me get out my spatula. You guys see? Oh, look how well that works. Thank you, Mickey. Mickey spatula. Oh, you're welcome. Okay, I'm putting that in. BJ, almost time for you, buddy. I hope you're ready. And I'm sure you have some advice for me. I call myself a nervous baker. Okay, gosh, you know what? That is delicious. Okay, Ramona Caudle, I'm a fan. That is so good. And of course, all right, well, let me put this in. Okay, moment of truth. Try not to spill it all over everything. Oh my God. Here it goes. I'm going into the oven. Go in. All right. Set, cook for 30 minutes. But don't think it's going to be a boring 30 minutes, everybody. It's going to be very exciting because I'm going to be talking to BJ. And I also have to make, one of the things I love about this is it has a topping. All right, it doesn't have, you don't have to ice it, but it's a topping that you pour over it while it's hot. And it kind of seeps in. It's supposed to be fantastic. Sounds great. So I'm going to be making that before everything. Hey, Siri, set timer for 20 minutes. Hey, Siri, set timer for 20 minutes. She's not listening.
Okay, your timer is set for 20
All right,
minutes.
so before I call BJ, I have to do everybody's favorite part, which is to, sorry, I don't know if this is impolite. Okay, I gotta tell you, I think this could be a really good cake because that tastes really good. I don't know, it's a little less thick than the cake batter I made last week. So I don't know what that means, but we're gonna find out. All right, so rather than cleaning up, I need a break. I'm gonna be talking to BJ Diden. So BJ, I'm gonna call you in right now. Boom, there he is. Hey, how are you?
Good. How's it going, everybody? Good to see you.
So, BJ, you're really nice to be here. So, do you have advice for me so far from that debacle that you just witnessed?
No, I think you're doing good. The one thing I was going to suggest, and because a lot of it's the thing about baking is accuracy, and so I broke out my baking soda.
Oh my God! Oh, tell me how to do it then.
So what I do is I just kind of peel, like you can see there's a little tab there. So I just pull it up on the top, and then when you take your spoon, you can put it in and then just scrape it along the top, and then you have a very accurate measurement.
That is such good advice. So the baking soda is probably an important piece of the puzzle that I might have messed up.
No, I don't think so. I mean, I was going to say I've not seen it put directly into the buttermilk, but it is an acid base reaction. So
Maybe
it's
that's what we're doing back in the 30s.
But it is the chemistry, because whenever you see a cake with buttermilk or anything like that, an acidic liquid, you are going to usually see baking soda added, because it actually balances out the pH of the batter,
So
and it makes it rise more.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good.
Yeah.
So whether you add it actually to the milk or you just add it to the mix probably doesn't.
Yeah, I don't think it matters. I think probably in that case, adding it to the baking soda actually gets the reaction to happen sooner, and maybe that's what they were going for.
Well, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, if this cake turns into a giant flat, whatever, it was still a fun attempt. So, BJ, what happened was I put a post on Facebook saying, hey, I'm thinking of doing some baking, and who would like to talk to me about baking? And a lot of people responded. Our mutual friend, Chris Moore from Georgia Tech and Spirit of Atlanta, suggested you, and you were nice enough to reply and say, yes, I'll talk. So here you are. So thanks for talking to me. Tell us about what you do out there in the world of marching and music and education.
So I've been at Tech for 12 years, just wrapping up my 12th year. I work with the marching band, and also I direct the 2 concert bands, work with athletic bands. And I've been, I was a graduate student at UT, Tennessee, did my undergrad at Tennessee, did some grad work at.
In Knoxville?
Yes.
Did you know I'm a UT grad?
Oh no, I didn't.
Yeah,
I don't think I knew that. Yeah.
I survived, I say.
Yes. Yes.
And were you there when Jay Julian was there?
No, I came about 4 years after he retired.
Well, anyway, that's
Yeah.
a whole other story for a whole other day.
Yes. Yes.
But that's cool. I didn't know
Absolutely.
you were a volunteer.
Absolutely.
I mean, you're one tonight, but you're one in.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely.
Okay, very cool. So you work with Chris Moore at Georgia Tech, and
Yep.
so before we start talking about the stuff you did with your students at Tech, which I think is very cool, and the baking stuff you've been doing, you are there in your kitchen.
Yep.
And you're bakers. You must be a baking enthusiast because that's why Chris suggested you.
Yes. I bake quite a bit. I actually, when I graduated from college, I kind of started just cooking and really wasn't interested in baking because it was so precise. I didn't want to weigh things and measure things and stuff. And then, probably about the time I came to Tech, I really started getting interested in baking. And so, yeah, it's kind of fun to do. And I like the best part about it. Unfortunately, the thing about quarantine is it makes it difficult to share with people. But, that's the fun part about it to me, is just being able to take it and share with students or the neighbors or whoever.
I agree. And that has been a problem for me too. Although I did have one last week when I did one of these. I was telling everybody I don't know what to do with all these
Right.
cakes I'm making. I don't want to eat them all myself. I don't need
Yes.
that. I do want to have a couple pieces. But I did have a friend who suggested that he would be happy to eat any
To
cake.
take it off your hands. There you go.
I'm going to do a drive-by and leave it on his doorstep tomorrow.
Perfect.
So that person who may or may not be watching knows there is a giant slab of cake coming their way tomorrow because I don't need to eat all this cake. So baking. Now, did you tell me that you had baked something today?
Yes, I made a lemon yogurt cake.
Oh, that looks fantastic.
So it's just baked in a loaf pan. It's actually the Barefoot Contessa recipe. And I had some yogurt that I needed to use up. It actually has a lemon simple syrup poured over it at the end while it's hot, just kind of like what you're going to do. And then I'm going to make a lemon glaze to put over it as well.
That sounds wonderful. Okay, so since we're talking about pouring a glaze over a cake and I have no idea what I'm doing, when the time comes and I take it out of the oven, is there a certain way to do that?
Well, you can do it. I mean, I can just do mine now if you want. Let me see if I can. There we go.
Oh, cool.
Okay. So first, let me do this. So I have a cup of powdered sugar, and I have a couple of tablespoons of fresh lemon juice. I get those big bags of lemons from Costco, so I always have tons of lemons. And I'm going to use most of this. I'm going to save back just a little bit. That way, if it's a little too thick, I can thin it out. But even with that, just that little bit of liquid will soak up all of this powdered sugar. And so that's pretty good. You kind of want it to run off, but not be too thin. Because if it's too thin, it won't stay on the cake. But if it were too thick, I could add a little bit more lemon juice, or too thin, I could add a little bit more powdered sugar. It's easy to fix.
Okay, so I'm just going to pour mine in while it's still in the pan. No?
Well, you can do that. That's what I did with the lemon simple syrup that I made. When it was still hot, I actually poked some holes in it and poured the lemon simple syrup. It was just I think it was a cup of sugar and like a third of a cup of lemon juice. And I just boiled it till the sugar was dissolved, and then let it cool while the cake cake was cooking.
Cool.
So that's kind of probably more what you're doing, is this kind of glaze, this kind of sugary glaze, which is what I've already done.
Okay.
But so you could certainly do it in the pan. But then, so all I would do is just take
Oh,
and
wow.
just kind
That's
of,
delicious.
so
Oh, it's so artistic. I was just going to literally pour mine.
it kind of depends on what you want to do. I don't know what kind of, is it like a chocolate glaze or?
I have to go look. It's like a powdered sugar. I think it's supposed to soak into mine.
Yeah, that's what I did before. That's what that lemon simple syrup was. It
Sort of-
just kind of it just kind of makes it moist.
Yeah, I think that's the point. That's the point of it.
Yeah, it's kind of messy, but that's okay. It'll taste good. So I did it on a rack just to keep from making a mess.
I wish that I was there to have a piece of that because
Yeah, it's very good.
that sounds fantastic. Hey,
And it
everybody, I'm
actually-
talking to BJ Diden from Georgia Tech, the baker extraordinaire.
It actually has it actually uses yogurt and like vegetable oil, so there's actually no butter in it.
My goatee is so big right now. I really
I know. I need a haircut so badly. It's like
don't
these home haircuts.
scaring all the children who are watching. All right, so let's talk about the baking that you've been doing, that you did with your students at Georgia Tech.
Sure.
I think that's really interesting because I think right now band directors and instructors all over the country are looking for ways to keep their students engaged. Yes, you can try to do some rehearsals. Yes, you can do all kinds of things, and we've had lots of conversations on a lot of different podcasts and webinars about that. In fact, everybody should watch the one with the Blue Knights from this past week because they talked about a lot of really great ideas of ways they do that and get the students talking and sort of opening up and being vulnerable and engaging with each other.
Yeah.
But anyway, I like the idea of doing some baking with students. So tell me how that all went down.
Well, so I have been probably for 5 or 6 years. I've made one of the first things I started baking was cookies. And so I was making cookies a couple of times a semester and just taking them in to my concert band classes, usually right before concerts or right after concerts, that kind of thing. And
there's a tip for how to get
yes,
happy. That's a great idea. That's a great idea.
And then about 3 years ago, I'm the chapter sponsor of our Tau Beta Sigma chapter, the service organization.
Mm-hmm.
And they had asked me if I would do one on campus, teach them how to make cookies. And so I did it for a couple of years. And then this year, the quarantine happened and it was supposed to happen the next week. And so I just sent them an email and said, well, hey, we could do it online. And it seemed like it would kill two birds with one stone. They would enjoy doing it. They could learn how to do it themselves, but also they would be learning how to use the programs that they were going to need to use to go for all their classes to go online. So we did it 3 times. We did chocolate chip cookies, brown sugar cookies, and then the last time, right before finals, we did eclairs. So cream puffs, eclairs, pot of choux dough. So it was a lot of fun. We had probably 30 or 40 students on each time, and most of them, a good half of them, were baking along, so in their kitchens, so which was nice.
That's a great idea. I love that idea. And I'm thinking about trying maybe doing cookies next week, or maybe well, let me see how the cake goes. I was kind of thinking about maybe doing some cookies next week. I don't know. We'll see. So you did that online, and then you got a great response from it, I'm assuming.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was great. I think it was such a stressful time for them that doing that, we only were able to do it about 3 weeks because between spring break and things and before final exam started, but it was something that a lot of them look forward to. And it was just kind of a distraction from what's going on in the world and the stressful time of figuring out how all these things are going to go down.
Yeah. By the way, if you're just tuning in, everybody, this is Tim Hinton, the Beast of the Marching Arts. This is Baking with the Beast. I'm talking to BJ Diden from Georgia Tech, who has been baking with his students online to help keep them engaged. So that's really cool. So what would you, if somebody was going to do this, I think the idea of cookies seems like a good place to start.
Yeah, it is.
You kind of throw them in the oven, you get some satisfaction really quick. And
yes.
Not that, right?
Right. Absolutely. Yeah, I think that's a great place to start. And it's also nice because you can, I've done a lot of cookies and learn a few little tricks here and there about how long to cook them and what they're supposed to look like before you pull them out, or and so it's nice to have that visual because you can't get that from a recipe book necessarily,
Yeah. No, I love that idea very much. So everybody that's watching, if you have some students you're trying to engage, like I'm assuming you send them the recipe ahead of time so they can
Yeah,
they want to
right.
cook
I sent them, a list of ingredients, and of course, as you said earlier, you're talking about toilet paper and all the different supplies. That was during the period where it was difficult to get some of the things that you needed, and so I wanted to make sure that, and I would just say, well, if you don't have this kind of flour, just use this kind of flour, it'll be okay. But sometimes it was hard to find what they needed. But yeah, I would send them, hey, you need a stick of butter and 2 eggs, and here's all the you need a skillet or baking pans or whatever, just so they would be prepared.
I think that's a fantastic idea. How long have you been at Georgia Tech?
This is the end of my 12th year.
Very good. Well, Please, when you see Chris Moore, please tell him, or see him online or whatever, please tell him thank you for connecting us and making the suggestion for you to be here.
Absolutely. Glad to do it.
Before we sign off here and I attempt to make my glaze, what other advice would you give me for, like, what should I do next, or something that would make me less afraid? Or like any advice that you have for me is trying to become a baker?
I think, well, you can get into, it's an expensive habit. It can be an expensive habit. I could show you, I have a whole cabinet full of different pie pans and cake pans and all that stuff. I think cookies are a good place to start. Muffins are a good place to start, because it's hard to mess them up. The worst thing you can do with cookies to me, is just overcook them. So in general, you just have to cook them less than you think. It's kind of like brownies. You kind of want them a little bit gooey and fudgy, or at least most people do. And so you want to kind of undercook them a little bit, because they're going to continue to cook. It's like a steak, right? You want to cook a steak. Yeah. So if you want to cook a steak and you want it to be medium rare, you actually cook it a little bit under medium rare, because it's going to continue to cook even when you take it off the grill or take it out of the oven.
So cookies do that too?
Yep.
I didn't know that.
Absolutely.
I thought out of the oven they were done, but they're
Nope.
actually they're still hot, so they're still doing
Right.
stuff.
And most recipes will say leave them on the pan for 5 minutes and then take them off, or 10 minutes, just depending upon how the recipe is formulated. But they are taking into account to the fact that that pan is still hot. And so it's going to continue cooking them for a few minutes. So if you cook them till they're hard, they're going to be burned, or, really hard by the time you take them off and eat them.
Let's check on the cake. Oh, look. I wonder if does that look good? Can you see?
Oh yeah. It's puffing up. Yeah.
It's puffing up. Okay. That's encouraging, everybody.
I will add one thing while you're there.
Yeah.
What I do is I actually will take my cake about halfway through and I will turn it around. I do that with cookies. I do that with everything, because your oven, most ovens are not heating evenly. So yeah, just flip it around. Exactly.
Ooh, it's real liquidy still.
Yeah, that's fine. You're still about halfway through, but that way it helps it kind of, because if the you're making a mess.
No, yes. Wait.
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah,
Can y'all see this on camera?
Yeah, we're seeing it. Yeah, we're seeing it.
I kind of wish you weren't.
There you go. That's good.
Right. One side looks different from the other.
Yep. Well, and generally the back of the oven is hotter than the front of the oven because it's closer to the door. So if you don't rotate it through, you might have uneven baking.
My new Beauty and the Beast mitts, oven mitts from my
Nice.
cousin. Isn't that cool? I love it.
Very cool.
Okay. Well, that was way more exciting. Did I mess up by opening the oven and getting all the heat out?
No, I mean it's not. It might add a minute or two, but it's fine.
Okay.
It's probably more. To me, it's better to have to cook it an extra minute or two, and to make sure it's cooked evenly than it is to. I mean, obviously, you don't want to stand there with the door open for 5 minutes or whatever. Flop it down and then walk away and take a phone call. But yeah.
It makes me think of one of my favorite shows is the Great British Baking Show.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
I love it. They're so nice to each other.
They are nice. That's the best part about it to me.
I know. It's my favorite thing. I love how they treat each other. But the thing that's so exciting to me is, like somebody will go like, the key to this recipe is not to open your oven because all of the air will come out. And then they cut to somebody who's opening their oven.
Right. Yeah.
And you just know it's going to be a disaster. And then it didn't rise.
There are certain things, if you're counting on steam or something to be a cooking method, and you definitely don't want to open the door. But for most things, it's not that big a deal. It may add a minute or two, but it's not the end of the world.
All those people incredibly impressive and brave. But,
yeah, absolutely.
I would be the one, that would do the wrong thing. Like there was the guy one time that put salt in instead of sugar.
Yeah.
That would totally be me. In fact, that could have been me tonight. I don't think so. But we're gonna see. All right, so I need to start making my topping, and it does say to pour. Here's what it is. It's 1.5 cups of powdered sugar, 1 stick of margarine melted, a 1/2 cup of milk, and 1 teaspoon of vanilla. Mix together and pour over cake. So I'm assuming
while it's hot, it says.
Yeah, over hot cake.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming I'm just gonna pour it.
Yep.
Over the cake, and then, like you said, I guess it makes it moist.
Yeah, it's going to definitely kind of, it's like if you ever had like a tres leches cake where it's like the cake is kind of like soaked. It won't be probably that wet, but that sounds like a very wet batter. So it's definitely probably makes sense to put it on while it's hot.
Well, that's what it says to do. And that's what Ramona Caudle said that. So
there you go.
She's the authority tonight.
That's right.
I'm sure she was some great lady in like
probably.
Imagining her when Nestles Quik first came out, it was the thing to do.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sure. So, absolutely.
Do you want to stay here and guide me through this, or do you think I can do it?
Either way, you just let me know.
All right. Well, if I tell you what I'm going to do, I'm going to try to do this, and if I run into a giant problem, I will call you in. Although you don't have to hang around if you have things to do.
Oh no, I have nothing to do. So.
All right. Well, let me get this back over on the counter where everybody can see. Can everybody see me? Okay. So I'm going to try to make this topping that I'm going to pour over the cake when I pull it out of the oven in. It looks like about 6 minutes. So I tried to time this where I could have it ready just at the right time. So we're going to see. Boy, what a mess I've made. But that's part of baking too, and you can always clean it right up. And normally, if I wasn't having these interesting conversations with people like BJ, I'll be back, BJ. If I wasn't having interesting conversations with people like him, I would have already cleaned up everything because I like to get that done while it's baking. Of course, I'm sure everybody does that, unless there's something else going on. So let's start. First thing, I'm going to get I'm going to assume my small bowl. Thank you, Kelly. And it says 1.5 cups of powdered sugar. So here's my powdered sugar. Oh man, my cup needs to be cleaned. Do I have another one? Use this. I'm improvising, everybody. That's very dangerous. Okay, so I don't know if there's a right way to do this or not. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to attempt to pour this powdered sugar. This is a 1 cup. How am I doing? It's exciting. We're making the topping of my Nestles Quik Cake. If you're watching, thank you. You're so nice. The cake's going to be coming out of the oven in about 5 minutes, assuming it's done. Okay, so there's one. Now a half. Whoa, that's too much. Can I put it back in? I guess I can. Too much. I'm sure there's a much better way to do this. I'm sure there's a better way to do this. Okay, I'm going to call that close enough. All right. Then it says 1 stick of margarine melted. Oh my God, I didn't do that yet. So let me get a bowl and put a stick. I'm going to do butter. I'm assuming I can do butter. I'm going to put a stick of butter and I have to melt it. Mix together. Is that going to be with a mixer? I'm going to have to call BJ back in. Although I think I just saw you whisk yours, if I was paying attention. More. Oh. Hey Siri, set timer for 5 minutes.
Okay, 5 minutes and counting.
We have 5 minutes till cake, everybody. 5 minutes till cake. Okay, BJ, I'm probably going to have to ask you how to do this. So let me finish putting the ingredients in. I'm waiting for that. Half a cup of milk. Oh my goodness gracious. All right. And 1 teaspoon of vanilla. So let me see if I can do this. Oh no, tablespoon of vanilla. Let me see if I can do this without having, again, a giant mishap like I did last time. So everybody's on pins and needles. Oh, that comes out really fast. I think I got it about right though that time. Oh, man, I don't know what I'm doing. Okay. So, hey BJ, how do I mix this up, man? Do I do the whisk?
I think you can use, whisk is fine. You don't need
Or
to,
a spoon?
you know, spoon, either way. I don't think it's going to matter in that case.
Thanks.
Yep.
Okay. So, thank goodness he was still around. All right, so I am making the topping. Oh, I don't have my margarine in here. No wonder. Hang on a minute. That's not going to work. Let me see. It's not melted yet. Okay. So I'm gonna melt it in the microwave another 30 seconds. Then I'm gonna add it to this, and then I actually can start mixing it all together. I'm making a Nestles Quik Cake because it seemed easy and it sounded good, and I'm kind of thinking like a chocolatey cake. I'm going to try to make a more legitimate chocolate cake later, like another time. Although I'm kind of thinking of making cookies next week. So what do you guys want to see me? If I'm brave enough to do this one more time next week, let me know what would you like me to do. You want me to still tackle a cake? Should I make cookies? I don't know. What are you guys thinking? Let me know. Okay, let me check on my margarine butter. Yes, this is better. Okay. All right. Now we're getting there. Isn't that the coolest? I love it. I love it. All right. Okay, it's like it's rising. Something's happening. Okay, now I'm gonna Hey Siri, how much time's left on the timer?
It's running at 1 minute.
2 minutes, everybody. This is exciting. All right, I'm mixing this together. What do you think? This is the topping. Ooh, that looks delicious. I mean, with all that butter, how can it not be? And all that sugar. This is not necessarily the healthiest thing. So, again, the premise of this whole thing is we all need stuff that makes us feel good. We all need stuff that brings our family together. So you get your family together. and everybody make cookies together or something. Like it feels good. It's this is kind of clumpy looking. Anyway, that's my suggestion is let's all do some baking. And I'm going to be learning to bake. Why necessarily doing it live, I don't know. But it just seems fun. My beast part loves being seen, and it's baking with a beast tonight. So that's what we're doing. And we're getting really near the end. And I guess I need to stick a toothpick in the top of the cake to make sure it's done. Isn't that like the way you're supposed to do that? That's what they usually suggest. All right, it's a little clumpy looking. I guess that's okay. I don't know. It doesn't look like it's totally dissolved. All right, so let me get my toothpicks out, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch the view where we're looking down at the oven. Boop, there we go. Now we're in for the real excitement of getting this out. So I'm going to get toothpicks. Here we go. I've got my toothpick. I'm going to stick it in the top. And we'll see. Moment of truth is coming up very soon. I am not sure about this glaze. Hey Siri, turn off timer. Hey Tim Baker, you reminded me to do that last week. Thank you, Tim Baker. All right, the moment of truth. Can you guys see? I'm very excited about this. Okay. I don't know. Oh gosh, it looks really kind of good. Let's see, all right? It looks, I don't know if it's done. I mean, I'm not sure if I know how to tell. I'm gonna put my toothpick in. It's a little bit wet. I'm gonna get some expert advice. BJ, are you still with me? BJ, are you? How do I know if it's done?
Well, that looked. I couldn't tell that it was wet. So
well, it wasn't really wet. I was just being. Should I do it again?
Yeah, try it again.
Yeah, it's really coming out pretty clean.
Yeah, I think if it's coming out clean. I think you're good.
Okay, now it has this rise to it. If I pour this stuff on it, is it going to go all over everything?
Well, I was just thinking that.
All right, so let me do this. Let me get
do you have like a sheet pan or something you can put under it?
That's just what I was thinking. I'm going to put it on a sheet.
Yeah.
Can you guys see what's going on? Okay.
Yes, we can.
Because that way, if it all goes pouring off, all right. Can we see?
Yep, you're good.
I think about this. It's not beautiful, but is it going to be delicious? Where is it? What do you guys think?
I think it looks pretty good.
All right. Well, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to pour this on, and we're just going to, I don't know what I'm doing, everybody. This is exciting. Are you ready?
Go slowly.
Here, let me do this so everybody can see better. Sorry, BJ. All right. So, all right, here we go, everybody. I've got this little nozzle thing. I'm going to pour it over. Oh, it's going everywhere. It does not look good. This is such a mess. Oh my God. Well, I don't think that's right. I don't think that is how that's supposed to look. Oh my gosh. That is such a mess. See, it's got like this giant lake. Okay, well, I don't know. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna cut a piece anyway. This is probably a terrible idea, but I'm gonna cut a piece. And you know what I'm gonna do this week? I'm gonna get a plate because last week I dropped it all over the floor. All right, so let's see if it still tastes good. Like Julie says, thanks for watching, Julie. Yes. All right, I'm gonna just cut off a little corner piece, and I mean, here it goes. Why not, right? I mean, all right. This is exciting, everybody. This is super exciting. Okay, I'm cutting off a corner. Oh, it's very moist. Very moist. Oh, wow, look at that. Okay. It's like very wet. I'm sure there's a better way to get this out. This is. I don't know if it's supposed to be this wet. I guess it is because I just poured that stuff all over it. Okay, wow. I'm just mauling at the cake now. All right, well, I think maybe if it had set a little bit. Okay. All right, whatever. All right, so I don't think this is exactly the way this is supposed to go. But you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to taste it. I'm going to taste it, and we're going to find out. We're going to find out. And you know, if it's terrible, I've still had a fabulous time. I've still had such a good time. All right, here we go. It's not bad. I don't know if the consistency of it. It's a little chewy. But you know, I mean, I would eat it. I mean, hey, it's a cake, and I baked it. So much for the first one. BJ, are you still there?
I'm here.
So it's a little chewy. What does that mean?
Well, my guess is you probably overmixed it.
Really?
Yeah.
Like, what does that mean?
Well, you really only need to mix it until it comes together, which probably is, 30 seconds to 45 seconds.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. And so that would be my guess. And
Okay.
really, it could also, once it cools a little bit, I think the
Right.
texture will improve.
I agree.
Because normally you wouldn't eat it straight out of the pan, straight out of the oven. But
No.
I mean, I get why you do that, because nobody wants to sit here and wait for 2 hours while it cools. So
No, it's actually kind of good. It's a good cake. It's not a
Yeah.
bad cake. I do think it probably will be better
Yeah.
when it cools. And yeah, I agree.
yeah,
So
once it sets a little bit.
I will post on this same place tomorrow if it got better.
Yep.
Well, BJ, thanks for being my guest.
Absolutely. Glad to be here.
Yeah, you were awesome. Please tell Chris Moore I said hello. And thank
Will
you for
do.
the great engagement you did with your students when you were baking with them.
All right. Thank you. Good to see you.
All right. Thanks, BJ.
All right. Bye.
Okay, everybody. That's Baking with the Beast. I had a really good time. Those of you that hung in here till the end, you're so nice. This was fun. This was a long bake. I mean, I've been on here basically an hour. That's a long time. I'm thinking next week of doing some cookies because that won't be as long a thing. But thank you to BJ for a really interesting interview. And thanks, Internet, for the Nestles Quik Cake recipe. I'll let you know tomorrow if it's better. This was fun. Beast out. Everybody have courage and be kind. Take care.